Hi, this is Jessie with the Humane Society of Huron Valley, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about how dogs communicate using their body language. We're going to be looking at some pictures of dogs, and we're going to look at their mouth, eyes, ears, and general body position to figure out exactly how those dogs are feeling. Let's get started. Here are some pictures of some happy/relaxed feeling dogs. Do you notice anything that all these dogs have in common? You might notice that they all have their mouths open and their tongue hanging out. This is a nice relaxed dog mouth. Some of them even look like they're smiling. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, I know that dogs stick their tongue out and pant when they're hot. And you're right, that is a thing that dogs do to cool down. So it's true that these dogs may all just be very warm. But most likely they're also feeling relaxed and at ease. You can't see any of the teeth for these dogs, and their mouth is just held in a nice gentle position. So that's how we know they're feeling pretty relaxed. Let's look at their ears. Now, ears are a little tricky because different dogs have different ears. But generally, in a happy or relaxed dog, the dog's ears are just going to be in their normal spot. So for this dog down here, that just means hanging floppy by the side of their head. For a dog like a German Shepherd, their ears are naturally straight up. So this is the normal relaxed position for a German Shepherd. What about their eyes? Eyes are tricky to demonstrate in pictures, but all of these dogs have what we call soft eyes. That means they're not staring hard in any one direction. If these were moving, we would see that they're blinking and easily moving their eyes around the room. And then what about just their general body position? Do any of these dogs look scared or hunkered down or like they're about to go for a run? Most of them look pretty relaxed, right? This one's even laying down. So these dogs are all sort of just in a nice neutral state. If I had permission, I would feel okay to pet any one of these dogs. They all look pretty happy and friendly to me. These are some pictures of some scared or nervous dogs. Let's start by looking at their eyes. Dog eyes, usually we do not see the white part of their eyes. We usually only see their iris, which is the colored part, and the pupil, which is the black part in the middle. But you can see, with a couple of these dogs, you can see the white part of their eye. In the shelter, we call this whale eye. And what it just means is that they're looking a little bit out of the side of their eye. They're a little uncomfortable with something that's going on in the direction they're looking. What about ears? Not all dogs, but some dogs move their ears when they're feeling uncomfortable, like this Chihuahua here. Normally, a Chihuahua's ears are right on top of their head, sort of like a German Shepherd, but this dog is holding their ears close to the side of their head. It's sort of a protective measure. Say, "Oh, keep my ears close to my body to make sure nothing happens to them." This dog down here isn't completely holding their ears to the side of their head, but they are holding them down a little bit. Again, just some signs of discomfort in these dogs. Mouth. What are these dogs' mouths doing? Most of them are just closed, right? And then we have this one here who seems to be licking their nose. Now, this is kind of funny picture, but what we're trying to show here is something that dogs sometimes do when they're nervous, which is they will lick their lips over and over again, or sometimes they will yawn over and over again. This isn't usually a sign that they missed their nap or are cleaning off a bit of food. It's usually a sign of nervousness if they're doing those behaviors over and over again. And what about their body position? Have you ever seen a dog tuck their tail between their legs like this? That's usually a sign of a nervous dog. It's sort of similar to the ears, where they're trying to protect themselves. So they're going to bring their tail in where they can make sure it stays nice and safe and they can keep an eye on it. This dog is holding their head down, right? Trying to, again, stay low to the ground, look non-threatening. All of these dogs you can see are leaning a little bit closer to the ground. Now, do you think it would be a good idea to pet any of these dogs right now? If you said no, I agree with you. Unfortunately, these dogs are feeling uncomfortable, and they are trying to tell us with their body language that they do not want us to approach them right now. They can't say it with words, so they're trying to show us with their body that they'd like a little space. How are these dogs feeling? These dogs are feeling focused or alert. They're really paying attention to something. Do you notice anything all these dogs have in common? All these dogs have their mouths closed tight. So they're not smiling, but they're also not showing their teeth. They're just clamped shut, really paying attention. Some dogs, when they're really paying attention to something or focused, will even lift their ears up a little bit to sort of listen better. Eyes. Eyes will often be staring in one direction. They have a hard time losing their concentration on that one thing that they're watching. And their potty position. Look at that tail that's being held stiff and straight right up. That dog's tail, even though this is a picture, is probably not moving. They're holding it very still. The rest of their body will also usually be pretty rigid or stiff. They won't be moving much because they're putting all of their attention into watching whatever's going on. I always like to think that all these dogs just saw a squirrel and are really paying attention to see what's going to happen to that squirrel. Now, these dogs, should we pet them right now? This is sort of a hard one, but I would say no. And that's because these dogs aren't paying attention to us right now. They're paying attention to something else. And it's usually not a good idea to surprise or scare a dog. So we don't want to interrupt whatever they are concentrating on at that moment. If I know these dogs' names or I have a toy that I could distract them with, I could try that, but I'm never going to just go up and start petting a dog who's clearly focused on something else. Okay, I bet you all know right away how these dogs are feeling. These are some dogs that are feeling angry right now. And what is the first thing we notice about all these dogs? Their mouths are open and their teeth are showing. So unlike those dogs in the happy and relaxed pictures, you can see the teeth. These dogs are saying, I have these and I can use them if I need to. So that's a pretty good sign. Of course, if there were noises along with these pictures, they'd also probably be barking or growling. What about eyes? These eyes are sort of going to be similar to our focused dog, where they're going to be sort of staring pretty intently at whatever is making them uncomfortable. Ears. Sometimes ears will look similar to a dog who's nervous or scared, where they might hold them down against the side of their head or hold them out to the side like this. And then general body position. These dogs are going to be sort of on their guard, so they might be leaning forward a little bit. Muscles will be tight. We probably know that we don't want to pet any of these dogs.